Okay, why do you want to listen to Diana Darling for your hair advice on how to do hair? And I'm going to tell you why. Because even though I don't do hair anymore, I am a color and color correction specialist. I am also trained in precision cutting, so I am a precision cutting specialist as well. And I was a hairdresser for many, many years, and I had a very loyal clientele the entire time that I was in my own business. So I am going to tell you how to color your hair. I'm going to show you how to color your hair. And I am going to recommend that even if you got a box color from the store and it comes with a bottle, I'm going to recommend that you either use like a little Tupperware like this, or you buy one of those like at Sally's, they have the little color bowls that you can get, and I'm also going to recommend that you get a brush. They do have the ones with, the very nylon brushes that are a little bit harder. I don't prefer those. I feel like these softer ones work better, and they're just a little bit more pliable. But if you have shorter hair and it's very coarse and it's gray, then I definitely probably would recommend maybe a little bit of a rougher brush to sort of get really into that gray. Okay, I don't need all that, but I'm just gonna use the soft one for now. I am also going to tell you that first thing you're gonna want to wear is, my dogs don't like it when I have a project. Okay, the first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to get something that's easy to take off so that when you wash your hair or when you get in the shower. Probably ideally like a towel or one of those like Velcro towels or something like that, or just maybe like a tank top or a tube top or something. But you don't want something that's going to be hard to take off over your head, and you don't want something that's going to come up too high, because your neckline goes down far, and here in the nape area, this is going to go down pretty far, and the color is going to get on your clothes. So wear something that you don't care about, and wear something that's easy to get on and off. Okay, now next thing you're going to need are some gloves. Definitely you want some gloves, and I would recommend more fitted gloves. Usually box colors come with gloves, and I don't really love those, but if they're fine for you, that's fine. You can get some at Sally's, and they're a little bit like more fitted. They have small, medium, and large. You can get those. And that's it. I am going to use this, leaking a little bit, but I am going to use Schwarzkopf. I'm using the color 80, because my roots are pretty ashy, and I don't really like that. I know that's like really in style to have like ashy hair, but I will tell you that ashy hair gives the illusion of being darker than it actually is, and it also is warmer hair. I'm not talking about brassy hair, I'm just talking a little bit of warmer. Does have a more youthful look. So although ashy is, has been in style for the last several years, I do like a creamier white blonde, and I don't like brassiness, but you can still have a neutral and a creamy without it being so ash. And I do not like my roots to be too dark and ash looking. It just gives it an overall, I don't know, muddy color, mousy. I don't know, not my fave. So what you're gonna want to do is, and you are gonna want to stick around to the end of this video, because you could do your hair and you could do it right just by watching me for a little while and then click off, and then you're going to miss the end, and then you're going to ruin your hair when you go wash your hair. So you definitely are going to want to stick around, okay? I'm going to tell you, make sure that you read the directions. If it's a box and it comes with its own peroxide, that is one thing, because it's already measured out for you. However, if you're going to go get one of like a more professional color, like from Sally's or from a professional beauty supply or something like that. Well, you probably can't shop at a beauty supply, but let's say you have a friend that bought it for you, or you bought it online or something like that. Then you are definitely going to want to read the directions, because some of them are like a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning like you're going to do equal parts of your color and your peroxide, and then some of them are going to be um, like 1 to 2 or something like that. So you're definitely going to want to know that information. Also, if you have a very liquidy hair color, it is going to be a little bit hard with the brush. So you might want to like put some cornstarch or something, like just a little bit to kind of thicken it up. You can do that because it could be a little runny. So I don't know. That's my advice. I don't know. Maybe another hairdresser might disagree with me. I did it my whole career and it was fine. So I'm going to show you guys. Okay. I'm going to squeeze my, now also, if you're going to be doing this all the time and you are not getting a box color that everything is already laid out for you, then you're going to want to get a food scale. Those are like, you can probably get one at Goodwill, but if you buy one at the store, it's probably going to be like, I don't know, $8 or something like that. And it's a good investment for you because it does help when you are measuring out your color. Or if you look on the side of the tube, it is going to tell you like how many ounces you've used. Like on this, you can't see because it's so like smashed in now, but it's going to tell you like how much of the tube you have used in ounces. And then you can also get one of those little ounce cups, and then you can measure it that way if you don't want to buy a food scale. Okay, so I have squeezed in my color, and I'm going to eyeball this just because I've been doing this a long time, so I know, you know, pretty much exactly how much is going to go in here. And I am using 20 volume peroxide, and I don't need something really high because I'm not trying to lift my roots to make them much lighter. And I am also, I don't want them less than that because I actually want it to really cover it, and if you use something less than that, it might not. And I do have like a few little grays sprinkled in, so we're just gonna keep that to ourselves. I like to use this little whisk, and I'd like to get it in plastic. They do sell them in metal. I do not like to buy them in metal because metal oxidizes color, which you know, your hair color, you want it to, you don't want it oxidizing. You don't want it turning dark. You don't want it to, you know, be done processing before you even have it on your head. So just don't use metal, okay? It's really not helpful. And metal especially oxidizes bleach, but we're not going to use bleach for on the scalp coloring, okay? But I am going to show you how to. Now, I probably should have parted my hair first, but we're going to just do it this way since I mean, you want to part it actually first. I got ahead of myself. You want to part it first because you don't want your color sitting around getting old, okay? You want to put your color on fresh. But part it down the middle, all the way down, okay? You can do that. And you want to give it a quick brush. Make sure there's no tangly-wanglies in there because that's going to be a real mess. You're also going to want to take off any jewelry. Oh gosh, my brush is full of hair. Don't judge me. It's only my brush, okay? Nobody uses it, and it's fine. It's just, I just use it to get tangled out. It's not a big deal. This is like a common hairdresser thing. Okay. Whatever, here we go. Okay, it's all brushed out. Now you're going to take that, you're going to put it into like, you're going to move this like back piece. This is a fourth. Okay, here. Just going to like put it. Now, I don't really need to do all this. It's not going to really bother me to like get in my way. But I'm doing this for you guys because when you're at home and you're not like, you don't do hair all the time, you know, the hair can really get in your way and really, you can just end up with a lot of spots all over your head or something like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and like do that and get it out of the way so you guys can see. I use these little, what do you call them, banana clips? Whoa, hey, 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 hey. We're not trying to be splattering this everywhere, okay? You're gonna want to roll up sleeves and put your gloves on. Put this piece, get it out of the way so your brush doesn't catch, so your color brush doesn't catch onto it, and then and then mess up your hair. Oh, that is so cute. And then you're gonna get your color brush out. Now, if you have countertops that are like nice, like a quartz countertop or something, you are going to want to put a plastic trash bag over it because it will stain your counters. They are like marble and stuff is very porous. It will sink in the color, and then that's it. Forget it, especially if you're doing a really dark color. I know because one time my brother came over to my house and decided he was going to color his beard with black dye without even telling me, and he like completely ruined my custom quartz countertops, and I was livid. Okay, at the end of the day, it's just a countertop, but it was unnecessary. Okay, you see my color? It's all mixed. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to go down the center. You don't want to cover this thing in color, okay? Don't go like slopping it around. That's not going to help you at all. We're talking like a little bit. See, I already got it a little bit on my blonde there. See, because I was talking and look what happened. You see? Now, that's not really going to help me because blonde, once you get color on it, it's ruined. So you got to be really careful. If you have highlights, you have to be very, very, very careful. Not like I just was. Okay, you got to be really careful when you have highlights because once you get color on that blonde, that's it. It's over. It's done, and then you can just forget it. And then I do not have a back mirror, but I just can like eyeball this. I mean, not even eyeball. I just can like feel it out because. So I'm going to go all the way down that center, and I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, a lot of people like to like do these lines like this way. Like, I don't like to do that. I like to go back, and I like to like go like this. That way I'm moving this hair away, and not to the other side. Okay, you're going to take about quarter inch little strips here. Okay, you're going to use the back of your brush, and you're going to be very careful not to touch the color with your fingers and get it all over your gloves, and then get it all over your highlights. Now, if you're doing dark hair, this is very important that you do not get the color on the rest of your hair as well, because if you are doing a dark brown or a black or something like that, I can guarantee you what's going to happen is that your roots are going to end up lighter than the rest of your hair. And if you've been coloring your hair for a while and you're wondering why is my hair so dark, it's because you keep recoloring and recoloring the ends of your hair, and the ends of your hair are much more porous than your roots of your hair, and so they're drier, and they're just going to take that color, and they're just going to end up being way too dark. Okay, so you're going to want to do it just like this, whether you have blonde hair or dark hair. And then I just do, yeah, see? Okay, I'm going to finish this side, and then I'm going to come back because I'm not going to torture you guys while I do the entire freaking thing. Okay, we have this side done. Now, before you start on the other side, you're going to want to very carefully take this over. Now, I forgot to tell you that my name is Diana Darling. I was a hairdresser for many years, like I said. And I also want to tell you one thing is that the reason I don't like to mix up my color with a brush is because it just gets too much color on the brush. I don't think I told you that. If I did, then disregard this part of the message. Okay, listen. Um, when you mix it with this, you can just like kind of tap that off, and it's fine, and it doesn't really matter anyway. But when you mix it with this, you got to mix it. Doesn't mix as well, and then you got to keep mixing, and then the color gets all over this brush, and then this is going to get all over. It's just going to be a big mess all over your hair, and you don't want it touching the rest of your hair, only your roots, okay? Now, the other thing is that you can't really like wipe it off, and you can't rinse it off, because then that's going to go all your color. So that's the reason why I don't recommend mixing your color with a brush. I also do not recommend doing your hair with a bottle, because you are not going to have as much control, and that's why I say to put it in a bowl and do it that way, because it's just much, you're just going to have a lot more control. So you're going to want to like, yeah, push all that to the side very carefully. Okay. Okay. We're going to go ahead and just color down this line here. I'm doing this in the mirror, so I'm not really looking at you guys anymore. And then you're going to just take little 1/4 inch row sections, okay? And go down. You're going to go back. If you end up getting a hair on this, take it off immediately, or if some hairs get on this, take them off immediately, because if they get on your color, on your hair, they are going to ruin your color. That's also the reason why I don't like the harder brush bristles, because they tend to also like pull hair more, and I just don't like it when like there's all these stray hairs on your brush, because they can just end up on your hair. It's like trying to put mascara on when you have a hair on your mascara brush. Like, have you ever got like a hair fell on your mascara brush? Or like an eyelash or something got stuck on it, and then you're trying to put it on your eyelashes, and there's just like this random eyelash that just keeps moving around. Okay, well, that's how it is with hair too. So there, yeah. Now, I really loved doing hair because it was so, it's just fun. It's always different. You always have different clients. You're always doing different things. I liked to change up everybody's hair, and my clients had a lot of trust in me, so they let me do that. Some were more adventurous than others, but I'd say most of them, for the most part, were pretty good about like, hey, if I suggested something, why don't we do some bangs? Why don't we do a face framing? Why don't we do something wild? Like, okay, we're now at the front, and we are going to just, also maybe you can like, if you pull it tight, it's a lot less likely to like flop all over the place. And sometimes you might want to hold this part, push that back. Okay, now I forgot to tell you guys something, that if you are doing a dark color, I'm talking anything other than blonde, okay, like light brown, medium brown, whatever. What you're going to want to do is first you are going to want to put something protective around your scalp here, maybe like a Vaseline or a lip balm or something, because this, and you're going to want to be very careful around your scalp, because this will stain pretty badly. I do also, so I do like to do my eyebrows, but I don't like to do them when my hair is like falling all over my face. It has to be pushed back. Also, when you have finished coloring, just kind of go around your little forehead here and just make sure that it's all covered, okay? And then just kind of like, just wipe around the area there. So what I did was, just a recap, I started down the middle in 4 sections. Now I'm just going to pull these back over and be careful not to get the color on here. And then I took diagonal sections going back, paint them back, paint them forward, right at the crease, right exactly where the section is cut there, see? And then I did that all the way down. Now to do the back, I don't actually usually do the back because I do something called a bump the base. I only do the front really, but just to show you, I'm going to keep one side in a clippy, and then we can do this side. And you can if you want, you can get a mirror if you have a mirror that has 2 sides of it, but you want to make sure that you're back in the middle. So put your hair back the way it was. And be careful not to touch it. And then I personally do this. I've been doing it a long time, so I just kind of feel it out and like kind of put my head down a little bit. I can kind of do these same diagonal 1/4 inch sections all the way down. And I would do that all the way down. If you need to, you can get a back mirror for this. Do that. Just, again, try not to get it on the rest of your hair. If you're doing blonde hair, you're going to ruin your blonde hair. And if you're doing dark hair, you're also going to ruin your dark hair. If you have all gray hair, or you're just doing like first time color or something like that, and you're going a whole different color, that is different. That's a totally different thing. Because if you're going from light to dark, you are going to want to fill your hair first. It's a whole different, you don't want to just put color on your blonde hair. That is going to muddy up your hair and it's going to look really like trash and garbage. It's not going to look cute. And the reason is because when your hair is blonde, there is no pigment in the hair. And when your hair is dark, there's a lot of layers of pigment underneath. And you have to put some of that pigment back in order to color it dark. Now we're getting into color theory, which I don't think you guys really care about. This is a color placement. This is just a how to color your roots. But this is like a good start for a color your roots tutorial. I can do other ones if you want to get more in depth. Leave me a comment or a question. If you have a question, please, by all means, leave it in the comments, because although I have been also a color and cut educator, I've never done it for the general public on how to do their own. So this is a little bit different for me, but hey, I'm just trying to help you guys out, okay? And it's fun for me to help you to do it. You know, the economy's not great, so I'm sure a lot of people are doing their hair at home, and I just want to be helpful. So if I am, maybe leave me a comment or, like I said, a question. Okay, now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to leave this on for as long as it says on your color. Remember I said read those directions? You need to know how long, because a lot of different color brands are different. And also, it also is different if you're coloring gray versus you just want your roots colored. So that's also something. Now, I would normally take like a little small brush, but I don't have one right now. And if you have a dark one, and you're doing this with dark, say you have a little bit of gray in your eyebrows or something, or you just, okay, my recorder cut off, but I am going to put a little color on my eyebrows and make sure these hairs are not going to flip forward, because that's going to ruin your color. Anyway, okay, so what you're going to want to do is if you have already colored your hair and you're doing a dark color, and you're just touching up your roots, okay? Then about 10 minutes before, like let's say that it takes 40 minutes to process your color, then at 30 minutes, you want to just kind of comb the rest of your color through, or if you have very long hair, you might need an extra box of color or an extra tube of color if you have really long hair. But you're going to want to pull the rest of your color through, and you can either do it with a brush. If you have really thick hair, you're going to want to do that with a brush, and you're probably going to make sure you have enough color to saturate all your hair. You can, if you want, spray your hair a little, just a tiny bit, just to make it slightly damp, just so that you can kind of more easily pull the color through, and then you can comb it through once you get enough color on. But just make sure that you have enough color to saturate all your hair, or it's going to come out very spotty, and that's not going to look cute. And you guys are going to come and blame me and say that I wrecked your hair, when really I told you what to do. Okay. I did my eyebrows. Okay. Now, just like my eyebrows a little less ashy. All right, fine. Now what I'm going to tell you is that there's a very specific way to wash this out, okay? And I'm not going to wash up. Okay, my phone keeps cutting me off, so I don't remember where we were. But I will say that I'm going to wipe my eyebrows off. If you have a cloth, that's probably better. I don't have one that I want to ruin right now, so I'm just going to use this toilet paper. Okay, so when you wash your hair, especially if it's blonde, I mean, pretty much, I mean, really anything, but if you have highlights, even if you have dark hair, but you have some highlights and you don't want to ruin them, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rinse your hair completely, and do not be mushing your hair while you are rinsing it. That is really important. Really important. Do not mush your hands through your hair. Do not let that color stain the rest of your hair, because that's what will happen. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to let the water, put your water on as high of a pressure as you can. If you have like a shower thing that turns the knob into different settings, put it on like a jet set or something. Spray your hair as close to your roots as possible. Let that water completely rinse out, drain out until you don't see color anymore, until you see it clear. And that is really important. A lot of people don't have patience and don't want to do that. But I will tell you that if you don't do that, you will ruin your hair color. It will, especially if it's blonde, it will muddy your blonde hair, and you will not understand why your hair is a really ugly muddy color. So that's what you're going to want to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how it looks. Okay, we're going to see how this. I left it a little long in the towel. So anyway. Okay, my hair is done, my roots are done, and they might look a little yellow in this light, but they're just a little bit of a warmer tone, and then when I put my highlights in, it will just look like a nice blonde. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, or if you want me to explain something in more detail, then just leave a comment or a question, and I will try my best to make it as clear as I can. And yeah, so this is how you do your hair. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.